everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Lizzie. I hope you're doing good, feeling good, and ready to find out some ideas for the summer. I know that summer camps are opening, but they're only at 50-50 capacity, at least in my area. So maybe your kids can't get in till later in the summer, or they're only in the beginning of the summer. So you might have to take turns. Anyway, here's some ideas on how to entertain them this spring and into summer. Sorry about my crazy hair. I just walked 2 or 3 miles with my dog and it got all messed up under my hat. Whatever. Ooh, let me unplug. I was charging it. Don't need that right now. Things to do with your kids outside this spring and summer. I know it has not been easy trying to keep the kids entertained. There are openings. Still can't read. Things are opening up. Perhaps you have a party to plan, or you want to have play dates. Perhaps you just want to keep your family close after this year. Here are things to do at home with the kids outside. All right. Cute little PowerPoint. We're going to struggle. I know I've tried 50 million different ways in the studio, but it's actually cool. I put a lot of detail. It looks like water. I wish you could see it. First outdoor activity. I don't know if you can tell, but they're squirt guns. These are red Solo cups that you can get at the dollar store. This is, oh, hello. I moved it, sorry. You can get these guns at a dollar store, the cups. This is any kind of, like, you could even use fishing line if you want. Any kind of string, cut a hole in the cup, and they have to shoot the water into the cup to make it move. It's really nice to do it over a pool, but you don't have to. If you don't have a pool, you can just shoot it across wherever. This is a really cool way to entertain the kids because they love this. It remember those carnival games where they had the squirt gun and you had to shoot it in the mouth and make your like little horse run or whatever they had up there? It's just like that. It's just a ghetto way of doing it. And the kids will be out there for at least a half hour to an hour trying to, like if they're very competitive, they might be out there all day. I'm like, I want to shoot it further than you. Or, they might jump in and swim if you do it over the pool, swim for a while and come back to it. It's just something really easy and affordable and cheap to entertain the kiddos. Outdoor activity number 2. Okay, so basically take some traditional, whatever kind of plastic bottle you can find. This is just gravel or little stones, and these can be ping pong balls or golf balls on top. I don't know if you can see it. And then it's basically the same as the old carnival games where you had to knock the milk jugs over. Same principle, but you're just making things and recycling them into a game in your yard. And your kids will have fun doing that, especially if they're really little. They think it's hilarious when they knock over the balls. I used to do this for daycare all the time. It entertains them. You could even do this with the pool idea at the same time. Alright, activity number 3, another homemade one to help your budget. These are just 2-liter bottles. You cut a hole in the center. You can put red or blue tape or any kind of, you can paint it even. And basically you're shooting water into the holes. And it's a way, especially if you don't have a pool, this is a really cool way to cool off with your kids. Because if they get wet, they don't care. They're sweating and hot. So basically you can have a squirt gun or you can do it by cups. Any kind of relay race or anything you want to add to this will be excellent. But this is really hilarious. Make sure you get goggles. You can get goggles at the dollar store because you don't want to get them in their eyes. And try not to get them in the throat. You don't want to waterboard the kids, but they love squirting each other. They're gonna love doing it to you. Just be prepared. They're gonna like totally bomb you with water. But it's funny, hilarious, and it's easy to make with recycled items that you have laying around your house. Of course, the classic activity number 4 is water balloons. They never get old. You can buy They have the kits for 100 where you can fill it up and then you can get the refills. But what I do is I go to like Dollar General and I get the 100 balloons, just a bag of them, and it comes with the old spigot for your hose. I do it the old-fashioned way. It hurts my fingers, but I get double the amount for the amount of money that I'm spending. Doing it yourself is a pain in the ass, but your kids are going to get like 3, 4, 5 times as more balloons as the 100 one that just fills it up for you because you only do 100 at a time. I can get bags for like 200 water balloons for $1.50. And the 10 one that fills up itself, I think is like $20. And the refills are 10. So just got to put the work in. I used to fill up on my water balloon days for daycare. I used to have to wake up 3 hours earlier and sit there. And I had 3 separate bins because if you put it all out there, it's just over. Like instantly, like all that work, and you like didn't even get any good pictures, or the kids didn't even really get to enjoy it. So what I suggest is you do like 100, 150 in one bin, put it out, make them think that's all they have, then go eat lunch or something, and then miraculously there's another tote, and they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get you. And then you can surprise them with it depends on how many you want to do and how much time you're putting into it, but I did 3 because I had a lot of kids to do water balloons with, so they would get 3 waves in it. Then they got smart and figured out that I hit them, and they're like, come on, just bring them out now. So I couldn't do that anymore. But if this is your first time and you don't do them all the time because you're not a daycare, it'll work. All right, activity number 5. I love this. I wish my parents played this with me. So this is like a dad, right? He's taping all the kids' favorite snacks, like a dollar bill, stuff they're not allowed to have, candies all the time, and basically you're playing touch football, but the kids get to rip off goodies and they get treasures. This is something to do with your kids that are really little or teenagers, especially if you put like a $20 bill in there. Make them work for it though. You're all getting exercise. It's hilarious. Just put down some serious ground rules before you play this game, like no elbowing. If somebody falls, you gotta stop and wait for them to get up so nobody breaks any limbs or does any serious damage. Sit down and do the ground rules, especially if they're little. But it's hilarious. You can do it if you're a mom. You can do it to grandpa or grandma. You can do it to their aunts or uncles. You can do it to all the kids. You could put different stuff and they could just be playing, for stuff. But the kids love this because they're winning prizes, and it's hilarious. You're laughing as you're doing it. It doesn't cost a lot. It's very simple, and you can do this in your backyard. I love this idea. I cannot wait to have kids for this alone. I will do it for every holiday. Gotta chase dad around the house or mom around the house if you want an extra candy cane or what have you. This will work for Christmas. You could do all kinds of Christmas treats. You could do Easter treats. You could do on their birthday. You could put all you want extra presents? Come and get me. Steal this idea for other things. This is genius. Anyway, activity number 6. I love this idea. If there's any way for you to put a TV outside, or if you have one of those projector screens. These are cardboard boxes made into little cars for little kids. This is perfect for social distancing this year because you can put them 6 feet apart and you got to stay in your box. But this is like a little kid drive-in theater. You can give them popcorn, you can give them drinks, they can watch some Disney movies, and they really missed a lot of interaction this year, and this is something you could do at home. You can control how many people are around your kid. If you have a kid that can't go out and about because they're, medical conditions that makes it dangerous, this is perfect to do with their cousins and people that they can be around and still have a way of getting out of the house. I love this idea for birthday parties. I've put this up on lists before. I love the movie outside. I love drive-in theaters. There's only one left around here, and I hope to God that they open this year. But I just love it. It's romantical, but also if you're not being romantic and you're bringing your family, it could start basically, this is why I love drive-in theaters, okay? Especially back in the day. They would go on dates there. They would meet, dating, lovey-dovey. Then they get engaged, then they get married, and they go there with their friends while they're newlyweds. And then when they have kids and their friends have kids and they all meet, like, it tells the whole love story. And you can start that little family story in your backyard. Quarantine approved. If, oh, God forbid, we don't have to go back in quarantine, but 6 feet apart, everyone has their own box. You can make these out of cardboard, paint them. It's not very expensive. Disney does most of the work for you in a popcorn microwave or machine. I love that idea. Alright, so if you're creative and you're crafty and you got that little theater spark and you like to entertain your kids and you like to go the extra mile, this isn't for every parent because not every parent is theatrical or likes artsy fartsy type of stuff like this. But if you're creative and you want to put on a puppet show, you can easily build a puppet box out of cardboard, and your kids will also play with this even after you do the show. Or you can do shows together and put them on YouTube and make some money with your kids if you really want to. Comedy skits even. This will entertain you for days, weeks at a time, especially if you're building up a show. I love this idea. Especially for the aspect where you can make funny videos, not just to put on YouTube, but for family members. You can keep them when they're kids. And me and Dad and me and Mom put on a puppet show when I was like 5. I still have the video. You know what I mean? That's what I think about when I plan these. Alright, so let's get into cardboard boxes because there's a million things you can do for your kids. You can build them little tunnels to crawl through and add it to your little playground in the backyard. You can build them a playhouse. What kid does not freaking love a playhouse? And the best part of a cardboard playhouse is they can select where they want to cut out the windows and the doors. They can paint it and decorate themselves. And if they break it or do something, nobody's going to really cry. It doesn't cost a lot of money. And, they can customize this for cheap, for anybody's budget. I like refrigerator boxes, dishwasher boxes, any kind of big box you can find. You can go to the grocery store and you can ask for boxes and you can build it out of several other boxes if you would like. Make it like Legos box edition. Grocery stores usually give them out for free if you call. Just say you're moving. You don't have to tell them you're building. Or you could tell them and then they'll save you something specifically big for they'll participate. They've been pretty busy this year though, so I'm not sure if they're doing it during COVID, but they normally give out boxes. Anyway, this is another one you can, if you have this is probably more towards toddler, young kids, preschool kids, but this is something easily made at home. These are all paper cardboard, something a little thick that you can be tossed as a ring. This is like a paper towel roll, paper plates painted. So you put the elephant face out and they gotta toss the rings on it. Toddlers love this game. I made this before for just stuff I found around the house, and they played with it literally all freaking day. And the next day they came back, that's what they wanted to do. I don't know what it is with toddlers in this ring toss game, but it's very cheap. You can do this outside, you can do this inside. They love it. Idea number 10. This is also something I've made myself. I made it out of a vacuum box. So you have a rectangular shaped box. You cut out a hole in the bottom. You can look it up on YouTube. That's what I did, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. But basically, they stick the hole in there, and it comes out. Toddlers love this. They will play with this for days, weeks, hours. They might try to toss it in, or they just might walk up and put it in. Either way, they love it. And this is made out of recyclable stuff. You can, if you have one of those like ball pits, they can use those balls. Or you can just use balls you find around the house. Bouncy balls you can get out of a 25-cent machine. A roll of socks. Just roll your socks in a ball if you don't have a ball. Either way, this is made from recycled products in your house. You can play it indoor or outdoor. You can take it with you to entertain them while you're at other events as well. But I would keep it to like friends and family members. But toddlers love that. All right, here's another, it's kind of the similar sense, but just a way of doing it. If you only have a square box, even a small one, you can just, oh, hello, hey, hi, come back. Sorry. You can just cut out the bottom, cut some holes. Same principle. They love just putting stuff in it, and then you just pick the ball up and move the balls out of the way for them if you need to, or you can cut a hole in the bottom of this. But they just love, like, putting stuff in stuff. Toddlers will play with this for hours. Again, recycled products around your house. I made a lot of these. They didn't really last long because eventually the kids, they want to sit on it, they want to climb on it, but they do play with it as long as it lasts. If your kids you don't have many kids, it probably will last longer. But in a daycare, they're like, let's jump on things. Ah! Crazy. All right, here's the same principle, but you can use one of those poster boards that has the 3 on it for science fairs. I don't know what they're called, but you can cut holes in the center one and decorate. They're going to try to toss their little ball through or put their ball through. It helps with hand-eye coordination and motor skills. All these games helps kids. You can teach them the colors, like this is a good way for teaching colors because you can be like, okay, which color is red? Put the ball in the red one. Which color is blue? So you can use this as a teaching tool as well. They love this. All right, here's another thing for like birthday parties or you just want to make an obstacle course for your kids. This might require a little work because they built this out of a box frame, but you can do this in your hallway. Like if you have a hallway in your house, you can just hang this stuff, balloons, and what is that called? You know what? It's on the tip of my tongue. My brain's not working right now. Not confetti. Not tissue paper. You know what I mean. But you can just hang that from your hallway and just let them run through it. And they like to run through it together and they almost scream and bump into each other. Not in the sense of hurting themselves. Make those ground rules, but they like hitting the balloons and it's a part of an obstacle course. You can even put pillows on the ground and make it look. Oh man, what just happened? Closed me out of the whole thing. But you can have that hanging pillows on the bottom. At the end of it, you could have some kind of homemade hurdles they gotta climb. You can make an obstacle course in your house with just about anything in your front or backyard is basically what I'm saying. Kids love it. It gets them moving. Sorry, I have to go back to where I was because it closed me out of the whole slide show that I set up. Oh, my Atlanta. I need sleep. Where was I? There it is. All right, next, number 14. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned toss game? You can make these out of little bins or totes that you have in your house, laundry baskets, and your kids are going to play with this at any age. I play with this. I'm an adult. I'll play with this with a kid that's around, other adults. Easy to make. They'll play with it for hours. You can use this as a party. Later down the road when the world is back to normal, you can use these at parties to entertain your guests. Another way to entertain your kids, you can paint just regular glass bottles or plastic bottles. Get anything that looks like a ring. Put it in a cute little basket you have around and let them try to do ring toss. They'll be out there for hours doing that. Number 16. So this is a water balloon toss game, but you can use anything. I like to make it I had a jar of coins, and I like to make it a little bit competitive. And what's the one way to get kids' attention? Money. So I would be like, this would be 25 cents, this would be 50 cents, this would be 5 cents, you know what I mean? And they would get a turn, and they could win money, and they would try so hard. And they would want to play until that jar was empty. And trust me, I would save up for weeks for this day because it would entertain the kids for hours until that change jar was gone. They still had turns. I mean, parents, you get desperate and you got a jar of change around and you don't really need it. Their piggy banks will be full by the end of the day. All right, so next, This is a simple game, again, with a squirt gun and just those simple solo plastic cups. Stack them up, make them knock them down with the water. They love that game. Simple, and the kids love simple stuff. We think that we got to spend a lot of money on these electronic toys. No, they like the competitive. They like games. They like simple things. It's fun. We just don't give them a chance as much as we used to. Another game to play is the same principle. You just get a poster board or some cork board that you're not using. Fill up some balloons, give them some darts, and make it fun. Like if you get a red one, you get a prize, or it's a penny per one you pop, or whatever way you want to do it. The kids will be out there popping them. All right, this is a new thing. I didn't do this in daycare, but I wish I did. Painting with bubbles. It's crazy. You can't really see, but this is the artwork. Go on YouTube, or not YouTube. Well, yeah, you probably see a demo, but I searched on Google how to do this. It's very simple. You have a straw, and I think has something to do with, I skimmed. I didn't read off. I should correct that. I think they blow it on paper, or you can let it drop depending on the age, but it looks so cool. And what kid doesn't like bubbles and paint? I think it's food coloring and just like dish soap, Dawn dish soap. That's what I would use. I'll be out there all day painting stuff. This one is really cool and something you can do at night. You can add this to birthday parties. These are 2-liter bottles just with like those. I can get glow sticks at the dollar store, all different size. So they just put glow sticks in a bottle, and then this is like one of those blow up balloons, or blow up. You can use a beach ball, which is probably what I would use. Try to find the clearest one possible, and then they put some glow sticks in there, and you have a night bowling game that your kids will absolutely love. Teenagers love this too, as well. Moon sand. You can make... Ooh, good Lord. I need sleep so bad. Anyway, moon sand. The ingredients, you probably have it laying around your house. Kids love moon sand. It feels weird. I love playing with it. Google how to do it. They show you step by step. Next is paint. Pouring on stone. This is pretty cool. You probably want to do this with more older kids, elementary kids, or teenagers. But look how cool those come out. This is what you Google. Paint pouring on stone. So one, you're going to have to collect stones, and you just have to buy some paints. Get those disposable cooking pans per color, and you just drape the paint over the rock, and it comes out so cool. I love it. Cheap, fun, crafty. Another way to do this is you're going to want to get like watercolor paint. I think they do have outdoor paint now, but you can go to the dollar store and get the see-through clear ketchup squirter bottles. They don't come with lids though. These are the more expensive ones. Put paint in these, and your kids, instead of using chalk, can use paint. They find it more fun. I don't know what it is about paint, but all kids would rather use paint than chalk. And make sure it's washable, so when it rains, it just washes off the pavement. Nothing toxic to anybody's plants or soil. Next, I've never made this either, but this is like something a lot of people are doing. It's do-it-yourself rainbow aromatherapy slime. And it's glitter. Look at this. Your kids are definitely going to want to make that, especially if they're girls. So you Google rainbow aromatherapy slime, and it literally comes right up, tells you how to do it. Mostly stuff around the house that you probably have already. This one is pretty cool, especially for a hot day and you don't have a pool. It's going to take a few days of prep time. Basically, this is a chunk of ice with a bunch of stuff in it, and they act like little archaeologists, and they got to chisel the ice block to get the stuff out of them. You can use, I think they use their toys in this picture, but you can use treats, you can use their toys, you can use coins, whatever you want. One, they're playing with ice, so they're going to cool off on a hot day. But kids love to do that kind of stuff. This is probably somebody for an elementary school kid, but let me point out something. See how the ice is in between the legs and he's got two hands on the hammer? This is the appropriate way to do this. You're going to want your child to have their legs away from where they're hammering, and you're going to ask them to use two hands because it's less likely that they're going to slip. And they have to not touch the ice blocks. They can't have a hand on the ice block while they're hammering it because they're going to hammer themselves. This is definitely going to require some supervision, but they usually do a good job, especially if you give them that pep talk like, you only get to do this if you're going to behave. The minute you start using that hammer in a way that might hurt you or others, I'm going to take it and game over. Set those ground rules. This is what it looks like, chunk of ice, and then the kid is obviously there trying to chisel their stuff out. I think it's fun. I would have loved that as a kid. All right, next is making flowers out of egg cartons. And people are putting them up outside and in windows. It's a new thing we're seeing around here. It's like we're trying to find crafts to do with all the stuff that we have laying around. These are straws. These are egg cartons, and you just paint them. You can put them in a vase, put them in their room, put them in a window, hang them up, whichever you want to do. But a lot of people are doing this, hanging them in trees, trying to cheer people up. Also, if you got a lot of socks around, you and your kid can make a sock worm, or you can make your kid a sock worm, especially if they're a young kid, they're going to play with it. But they do like to help and pitch in. This takes a little bit more skill, but there is step-by-step process if you Google your sock worm. But kids, this is something you can do together that they can also become a toy and do by themselves. And kids like that stuff. Next is straw painting. Same principle as bubble. You just put some paint in it and they blow. And it goes on the paper. This is definitely something I would do outside. But kids are going to love that. Being able to spit paint non-toxic just in case they get a little bit in their mouth. Because one kid's going to try to lick it or something. All right, next. This is new butter slime. Instead of making regular slime, apparently there's butter slime and it's smoother and more creamier and marbly looking. So you can make this at home with your kids on a rainy day. Just Google butter slime and it will put the directions on. Usually stuff around the house, maybe not, because I think there's like a weird cleaner that used to be popular in the 60s, but you can get it at the dollar store. Stained glass chalk is, if I could see it, this is all over. People are painting, like making it look like stained glass in their driveway. It's super cool, especially like my mom does this with her sidewalk. Her walkway, it's got like all different kinds of circle bricks, and she just colors them all a different color, and it looks really cool, and it adds a cute little texture to your yard, and kids love doing this. But if you have little kids, they're not going to stick with the program, but you can block it out. Up here they put painter's tape so that you can help the kids stay in the line. That might be best if you have little kids. Alright, this one is really cool and a keepsake to do for them that they can put up on their bedroom wall or door. So this is an old piece of wood. These are string, and you just nail some nails around to make the letter, and you just keep wrapping the string around it until it's thick enough so that you can see the letters of their name. It's going to last a long time. It's going to take them a while to make. Teenagers really like this kind of stuff. It's crafty. If you don't have this lying around your house, you can get string pretty cheap. The smallest nails you can find, they're pretty cheap. Go to a scrapyard, ask for some wood, and you can stain it. Just buy a can. I think it comes in little mini cans of stain. How many times can I say can? Oh my God. Sleep deprivation is kicking in. Anyway, moving on. Tie-dye is always possible. Always possible. Of course it is. It's always popular. But now they're giving you some cool ways to do it with tape and on how you knot your shirt. So if you go on Google and you look for specific designs so you can make these really funky, cool tie-dyes, I would do it. A tie-dye kit can run you anywhere from like $15 to like $40 depending. But you can make a lot with it. It lasts a long time. Also, if you have white shoes and you want to make them a little bit more hyped up and on trend, you can tie-dye sneakers or old sneakers to make them new again. This is also a popular trend. I used to do this when I was a kid. Also, you can, with that tie-dye, you can get white towels and painter's tape and tie-dye it, and there you go. You all made your specific beach towels for the summer. Or if you go to camp or whatever, you're all going to have your own, and it's going to look cool. It's something you can do together to entertain yourself that you're also going to use all summer long. Next, we have, just with Kool-Aid, they now have recipes that you can make into slushies. Kids love slushies. The only thing you're going to have to buy is Kool-Aid. You can get these at the 99-cent store or dollar store, whichever one you have around you, and crushed ice. Just get a bag of ice and get a hammer and crush it yourself if you can. Also on Amazon, slushie machines are pretty cheap. You can get one for like 15 or 20 bucks if you really want to. Kids can do this every night after dinner. It could be your summer treat. Gives you something to look forward to and to do with your kids. You can make these fruit juice gummies. Like, say your kids are going to summer camp, or say they're going to camp with the grandparents. You can make these together ahead of their trip. And while they're away from you, they can eat them and remember that you made them together. And they're really delicious, and you won't have to buy fruit snacks for their trip. You can make a bunch of them. Go on Google and Google homemade fruit juice gummies, and you'll get tons of ones. This one is made by Juicy Juice. Those are the ones that I like. So you can Google Juicy Juice homemade fruit juice gummies, and it'll probably pop right up for you. You can also, they have recipes now to make your own bubble gum. I mean, kids love bubble gum. They love blowing bubbles. But to be able to make that with mom and dad, we made our own bubble gum. And then you can have a bubble blowing contest with them. Just have some prizes in advance for them. But you can Google some how to make bubble gum at home, homemade bubble gum. I'm going to be looking into this because I want to make some. My dog loves bubble gum. All right, so this is something to do if you're especially having that movie night idea, or you just have movie nights in general, or if you're going to the drive-in or you're going somewhere. You can make flavored popcorn or colored popcorn. Candy flavored popcorn, this one says. So they have cinnamon with Red Hots. They have watermelon, bubble gum, cherry. So you use candy to flavor popcorn. So you can use this as a party favorite as well. You can make this with your kids just to eat in general. Kids love popcorn. They love candy. They're going to love making it. They love getting in the kitchen. That's a good rainy day project. So is this one. You can make old school rock candy out of Kool-Aid. I shit you not. On those pouring summer rainy days, make some rock candy with your kids. They'll love it. And it takes a while before they can eat it. So they'll have to wait until after dinner. Wink, wink. But Google Kool-Aid homemade rock candy. Oh no, it's coming up on here. No, Google. The whole Google screen came up. All right, this is perfect to do if you have little girls. Because if I had a little girl, I would do this. And I know that the little girls I used to watch, well, maybe not now because Trolls isn't as popular, but it just came out and I had to watch it 50 million times when I was in daycare. But look at, you can make homemade troll hairbands with your kids. They're so cute. Google how to do it. It comes right up. I just wanted to show you a picture of what they look like. Very cheap to buy the supplies. You can do them 100 different ways. You can make these to sell. You and your kid can sell these. You can just make them as a craft for other kids. You can make them for their whole class. You can make boy ones. If your kid's having a birthday party, these can be your party hats. There's a million things you can do with these. I love it. All right, next, hand puppets. Always a classic, simple felt. Hand stitching or a sewing machine if you have it. Kids will love making these. You can also start teaching them how to use that sewing machine if you got one. Next is making paper crafts. This astronaut one is very trendy. You can Google how to do any kind of paper crafts, but this is another good camping or rainy day craft to do with your kids at home. Here's another cool, look what they do with paper plates and just some string. This is construction paper, but this is so cool. This would be awesome decoration for like if you have a summer camp or a beach house. You could make these to hang up to decorate your summer vacation place with your kids on a rainy day. Also, kids love making these out of they're like popsicle sticks and cupcake liners. They love doing it. It's so easy. It's so simple. Again, another rainy day or nighttime craft. They will play with them. They'll like be fighting with their friends or siblings once, or they just make the two fight. I don't know what it is about superhero popsicle sticks, but it never gets old with kids. Here's a cute thing you can do with your kids. Another paper craft that you can actually hang up at home and have some spring decorations, or you can hang them in other people's windows to cheer them up. Simple paper plates, construction paper, markers, and you're cheering up yourselves and someone else's day. Another paper craft that's pretty popular, they actually do these in pre-K with the kids, I believe, and they put them up in the window in the classroom. So you can put these up in the window. If you have like a grandparent who's at a nursing home, you can make these and send them to them or go visit them. Anyone who's sick and can't come out and play, this is a good thing to decorate their windows for. A good activity to do with your kids. I don't know how many paper crafts I put in here. Okay. Here's the last paper plate one. Elephants are in. Kids love elephants. You can make masks, any kind of masks out of paper plates as well. They'll run around and be playing with it for hours. Now, with your toilet paper rolls, you and your kids can make these cute little butterflies. You can put these in your potted plants in the house or the windowsills. Class up their dresser. You can use this on their desk and put their pencils in it. It's super cute and it's fun and effective time management to keep them calm. But again, we all have toilet paper rolls. There's things you can recycle around the playroom. These are pretty festive too. You can make these paper wind chimes to put up in windows or make them for other people. The rainbow with the clouds is definitely a popular theme. Coming in from 2020, everybody was making rainbows in their window. Now they're doing these. So you can make those for yourselves or other people. Here's another cool toilet paper one. You can make little dogs. They could play with them. You can make all kinds of animals. All you gotta do is go on Google. They tell you step by step how to do 1,000,000 different animals. Again, if you don't want to do the wind chime, you can just do, this is like white construction piece of paper and different colored construction to make that rainbow. That's very trendy that you're seeing in everyone's windows. And here's another really cool, if you're a teacher or if you do a daycare or you just want to make a decoration for your kid's room or a party favorite, these are so cute. Construction paper and string. Clouds, rainbow hearts. So cute. I love it. Next, if you have like a stick in the yard, you can make these crafty horse heads and your kids can run around and pretend they're galloping on horses. And they actually will. They'll love making it. And if they don't want to gallop, they'll keep it in their room as a decoration. You can make, if you have girls, like to have little things that they can play with. Say they have little doll houses. You can have them make these little horses out of toilet paper rolls and they can set their doll on them. You know what I mean? They're like a little My Little Pony for them. Little girls also like this. It makes a cute party favor. Construction paper, string to make the hair. Hang it up in their room. You two made a decoration in their room together or a party favor. These are really cool. Gotta Google how to do it though. I never made them, but they're popsicle sticks and ribbon. And you can make all the Disney princesses out of, it might be construction paper too, ribbon and popsicle sticks. That's crazy. But your little girls will love this. They even got Tinkerbell in the mix. This is actually made out of cardboard. You can make your kids a dollhouse to play in together. You can design it together. These are probably like paper towel rolls, a cardboard box they cut up, and a little paint. And you can cut up shirts that you don't wear and make curtains out of them. You can make furniture out of any wood that you have laying around. I actually find dollhouse furniture at the dollar store. You can buy like a bed and whatever you need at the dollar store. In conclusion, there are many things to do we couldn't do last summer. However, there are still a lot of rules, and we don't know if, God forbid, the numbers go back up, we might be stuck home again. Either way, I just wanted to help plan some things to do while school is out and the world is slowly opening up. Thank you for your time and for watching this. Please give this a like below if you want more of these in the future. I can talk about kids' birthday parties. I can find you things to do to help teach them things. If you like this and you want ideas about your kids in any area, hit me up in the comments. I'll put my email in the description box. I can do any kind of video. I just need to know if you like these reviews, if you like getting ideas, if it's helpful. I'm looking for content to continue to do on my channel. When I get sleep, I won't talk like an idiot. All right. What else? Did I miss anything? Oh, I want to give a special shout out to all the essential workers who held it down during this pandemic, like teachers, daycare workers, doctors, nurses, policemen and ladies, firemen, EMT, anybody who had to work through this and was holding it the F down and has kids or doesn't have kids. Thank you. You are awesome. Anything you see on this list can be found on Pinterest and Google, where you can find step-by-step instructions on how to make or do every activity on this list. Thank you again for watching. I hope it was helpful. Have a great summer with your kids, and I hope it's a lot more eventful than last summer. Peace. I'm out, guys. I don't know why I said that. Oh, Lord. Bye.